What's going on, guys? I'm here at the Barnes & Noble in Paramus. This is day one of the sale. I'm actually going to start filming here first. This is not my usual place that I go to. Clifton's actually the closest one, but this one is the best selection, I think. So I'm going to start here. Going to show a few of the purchases, and then we're going to move on to the next location. This is what I love about the Paramus location, is their organization is on point. Like, this is why I wanted to do this one first. Here's the Criterions. Here's some Arrow with some Criterion. It's actually pretty cool. They had a horror section which has a lot of the Arrow stuff, but I like this. I like this a lot. Like, it's so much easier to make decisions when shopping. Ooh, is that Zatoichi? So, I'm gonna keep looking for stuff, and you'll see the final total at the end of this video. Hey guys, so one thing I noticed when I was getting some movies, I think early on in this sale, the Arrow stuff wasn't all 50% off. I went to get a couple ones. I went to get Hellraiser, Deep Red, and the Dead or Alive trilogy, and they actually rang up regular price. So if it's in the early throngs of the sale, I would say check it out. I'm going to wait on those ones, see if they drop down today or Sunday. But otherwise, I think I got a pretty good haul. Again, I'm going to show everything when I post this, when I edit this video and shoot the final video for this. So, yeah. So, off to Clifton. And there you have it. That was my trip to the Paramus Barnes & Noble. I wanted to be respectful, so I didn't film too much. I wanted to get a little bit in there. I used my cell phone for this one because I was the one filming it. So, what did I get in Paramus? Well, here we go. First, I got Branded to Kill, which is one that I was supposed to get last sale. The copy that I got wound up having an issue with it, so I ended up getting Do the Right Thing instead. I also got Grey Gardens. This is one that I've been kind of looking to get. I've seen it mentioned on Drag Race, which I do watch, and just a lot of friends have actually highly recommended this, so I've got it now. One of the box sets I got today was Berlin Alexanderplatz by Rainer Werner Fassbinder. This is one of the ones that I had on my original short list of movies to get for the sale. I'm a huge Fassbinder fan. I've actually reviewed the BRD trilogy, which you can click the link below to check that out as well. Another box set that I've seen mentioned a lot in Criterion, and I love the artwork, and I was just interested in getting it, was the Lone Wolf and Cub box set. I don't know much about these. I actually did not want to know too much about these before watching them, but I've heard so many great things about this box set, so this is one I had to get. Also, I also wanted to finish my collection of this director on Criterion, at least for now, because he might have another one coming out at some point. Mulholland Drive by David Lynch. Again, this is the one David Lynch I did not have yet. Now I do, so until they release either Inland Empire or Lost Highway, I've got everything David Lynch has put on Criterion. I feel proud of myself on that one. This is another box set. I actually watched all three movies with some friends, but the Three Colors trilogy. I had this in my original collection. This was earmarked when I decided to start planning for November as one to get because I wanted to replace this because I did want this back in my collection. Next one is one that I meant to get for Halloween, didn't get to. I took some time off for personal reasons, but this is one I waited so long to get because I wanted the Blu-ray to come out, and that's Hexen. I finally have it. I know how many times I've put off getting this in sales over the years. Quite a few. So now I've got this. Now I can watch it and enjoy it in glorious high definition. We have a couple more. The Brood by David Cronenberg. I've got a couple of his films in the collection. I actually almost reviewed Videodrome, and then I didn't like how that came out. But maybe I'll revisit that and also double it with this or triple it with Videodrome and Scanners. Next one on the list, actually recommended by my directing class professor, and that's Rashomon. This is honestly one that was probably on my list anyway. It's Akira Kurosawa, who is a fantastic director. One of his best films, and $20, no brainer whatsoever. Well, 18 because I have a membership. You know what I mean. The next one is one that by a director that I'm finally getting to watch the works of, Jim Jarmusch. That's Dead Man. I actually watched The Dead Don't Die earlier this year and loved that. That's also one of my favorites of the year. So that was my Barnes & Noble haul for Paramus. There were going to be some Arrow films in this one, but they weren't 50% off yet, so I had to return them, and that way I could allocate the money elsewhere. So I also went to Clifton today. Clifton is actually the one closest to me, which you'll see in the video that I have from that one. I got a little bit more video, but again, I was trying to be respectful of both the employees at the store and also the people in the media area who were doing schoolwork or whatever in there. So I was trying to be as quiet as possible. So if you hear the bad whisper, I'm sorry. But here's my trip to Clifton.
Here is the Clifton location right here. This is where I'm about to enter to continue my sale festivities. It's actually a pretty big store. It's 2 stories like Paramus, and they do have a pretty wide selection of Criterions.
All right, so what did I get in Clifton? Not as pricey as the stock at Paramus. I didn't get as many box sets, but I have Beyond the Valley of the Dolls by Russ Meyer. It's one that I had heard about before. I mean, I know it's a controversial pick on Criterion, but worth checking out, I think. You know, I was thinking between that one In the Realm of Senses or Blow Up by Michelangelo Antonioni. Blow Up wasn't there, so I went with that over In the Realm of Senses. The next one is another one that was formerly on my collection, although I had the out-of-print at the time DVD. But this is actually the Blu-ray that is now currently in print for Straw Dogs. I love this one. It's actually really good. I'm glad to have, again, another one that I'm glad to have back in my collection. I wanted to get some Samuel Fuller in this one, so I got 40 Guns. I've heard good things about it. I'm actually interested in seeing this one. Sam Fuller is actually a really good director. Even Shark, which the distributor made that exploitative because of the death of a stuntman, but I liked White Dog, I liked The Naked Kiss, and Shock Corridor, so 40 Guns was a no-brainer for me. The next one, more Fassbinder. I went with World on a Wire, which is actually my first Fassbinder that I've ever seen. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It's a long one, 212 minutes, but it's really good. Like, it's so good. And Fassbinder is such a great director. Like, I'm glad I'm getting to expand my Fassbinder collection. I think I need to get The Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant and maybe one other, and I think I might have all his stuff in the collection. At that point, I might be, probably need Fox and His Friends as well. But regardless, everything Fassbinder's put out, has been great. I mean, listen, I'm a fan of Fassbinder's collection, movies in the Criterion collection, which I need to buy as well, but I'm talking about Mike Rainer Werner Fassbinder here. I'm a huge fan of his films, so I even have the Cinemetal shirt with Fassbinder with the Metallica logo style text, so I'm deep in there with that one. The next one, I'm going to be honest, my Clifton trip at one point was starting to seem Japanese film heavy. I got the complete Lady Snowblood, which I've heard were beautifully shot, great color coordinating. I actually saw a little bit of the first one before my stream went out. This is Lady Snowblood and Lady Snowblood Love Song of Vengeance. So this is going to be a fun one. I cannot wait to watch these ones, actually. Those ones and Lone Wolf and Cub. I wanted to get more, like I said, I wanted to get more Kubrick as well, and I decided to go with Barry Lyndon. I have not known much about this film, which is part of why I wanted to get it. It's almost like a good risk getting it as a Criterion, because I know it's going to be the version he like how he meant it to be seen. So I figured, you know what, it was worth the chance, especially during the 50% off sale. This next one, I'm going to be honest, What I know about the subject matter, the person who this is about, not a fan of. But this is a movie. I think it. So I love that the film was written by the director. I've never seen this movie before, but this one was in my head continually because of the videos of Daisuke Bappu, mostly because of the artwork, and that is Mishima: A Life in Four Chapters by Paul Schrader. I love a lot of the films Schrader has written, and he wrote this one as well. This should be an interesting watch for me. I love the packaging; it's amazing though, like that just gold and pink, and other like just that mixture, the like shinier gold parts of it. It's a really good cover. It's the kind of cover that makes you know why you love getting Criterion releases. Sticking with Japanese film, this is one that I was debating getting this or another box set, but at some point I am going to start doing the first 100, so I need to start getting some of those earlier spine numbers. So the Samurai Trilogy. I'm kind of excited for this one. Again, have not seen any of these, but they've come highly recommended. Every time I get them in my collection, I just would never get a chance to watch them. So every time I get them in my collections, would not have the chance to watch them. So here's me giving myself that chance. And the last of the non-Japanese ones is Close Up by Abbas Kiarostami. I was debating getting the Coker trilogy, but I figured I'd get this one to watch first. This was recommended to me on the Criterion Reddit. It's something that I figure I'll watch and then make the decision on how high of a priority I'll put on the Coker trilogy. So you might see that get reviewed at some point when I do eventually get that box, maybe next July or maybe later this month. I might save a little bit up to get that one. So yeah, that one's one that I'm looking forward to. Here's one that I've wanted to watch for a while now. It's an Akira Kurosawa film. It's also the film that influenced George Lucas to do Star Wars, and that is The Hidden Fortress by Akira Kurosawa. Again, an all-time great film, and up there with Seven Samurai, High and Low, and Rashomon. At least so I've heard, because I haven't seen it yet. I do look forward to finally seeing it and connecting those dots to see where it falls in line with Lucas's influence on the Star Wars trilogy. And the last, but certainly not least, of my Clifton haul is going to be House, which I've seen before. It is the most fever dreamy of ghost type horror movies that I've ever seen come out of Japan. I mean, look at this pic. Look at this. Like the artwork sets the tone for this film. It's such a fun movie. Like I cannot wait to watch this again and watch it on the actual Blu-ray release, as opposed to watching it on a stream or something like that. But oh my god, it is such a fun movie. Like, and this is one I had in my collection. I'm glad to have it back in my collection. Also, another bonus haul. I mentioned I proposed. I ended up getting this ring from moissanite.rings.com. I proposed, and she did say yes, which is why I'm spotlighting this. And all right. Now she has the ring back. She had to wait to get it back on, otherwise her hand would feel naked. But definitely go to moissanite.rings.com if you're thinking of popping the question or just buying a piece of jewelry that's not diamond and not risking being a blood diamond. If you do deal with them, go with Lauren. She's actually really good, and she's actually fantastic to deal with that. Very flexible, very attentive to detail, and will make sure that it is what you want it to be. And I just can't say enough good things about that. Also, now that I'm engaged, I'm probably going to have to get her the Shane Dawson Jeffree Star palette after this haul, because otherwise this channel might come into an abrupt and definitive end in the next couple months if I don't. Also, I want to give a shout out to the Clifton and Paramus Barnes & Nobles. They've actually been really attentive with helping me with multiple issues throughout the last week with purchases, between the Godzilla stuff and between the issue I had with my copy of Polyester, where it actually came in the case cracked. I didn't notice that until a month or so later when I went to actually watch the movie, but they still did the exchange, or I should say they did the return and repurchase, which wound up giving me extra money in both cases to play with. So definitely recommend those. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring that bell. Also, Follow me at HipsterPunchy on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And you know what? I'll see you guys for part 2 of this haul. Have a good one.